I just now realized I did not hit the transition button. I was talking to nobody. But what's going on? Somebody mentioned Team Inverted. No, there's literally a team named the Upside Down Team, and we're going to talk about them. Not at length. Just they pulled something off in a game. I believe it was on Monday. It may have been yesterday, but I'm pretty sure it was Monday against Mexicans in the Mist. Now, Mexicans in the Mist took the game, but this play that kicked off the game by the Upside Down Team was pretty dope, and I really want to put it on display. But so what's really going on here? What's lame? Sorry, C. Jason. So what's really going on here? I'm experimenting because on Monday, I cut that deep dive into like a 30-minute video, and I put that over on the Sodimly channel. And I kind of liked how that worked out, so I'm going to experiment with that a little bit. So this one's actually going to be cut into two parts. That's why the title has two references. So the first part is going to be going over this awesome play by these guys. Please turn off your phones. So I want to go over that. And then the second part is basically going to be me explaining what to expect when you are expecting to be casted. Just to give some people, anybody interested who hasn't been casted yet, an idea as to what's going to happen when they get casted. So that'll be the second part I cut in, and they'll be released probably both tomorrow or whenever I get to cutting them up. The whole stream, of course, will be on the Echo YouTube in full, and also in the VOD on this Twitch until it expires, whenever that is, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. Yeah, so how's everybody doing? We got a few people in here. I see Zenith and Lil Weepo and Wonderment and Lols and C. Jason, and love seeing you guys here. And of course, if at any point I'm actually gonna get out of studio mode, I always forget to do that. If at any point you want to contribute to whatever's going on, just type it. And Demi Malone, it is not gonna die. No, it is not. So all right, we'll get into this. We'll get into this play by this team here. I'm gonna turn my mic up a little bit, actually. So excuse that a little bit. So yeah, this was also, I was running the cams on this, and I was having issues with. I figured out what the issue was today, and it was actually a stupid issue, but we won't get into that. But that's why I was having some issues. That's why the overlay, it takes a moment, and the teams were on the wrong sides right at the beginning. But they flip before the end of this play here. Flair VR asking, what region is this match? In North America. Yeah, there's the two North American teams. I think they're both. No, Mexicans in the Mist is not a new team. And to be honest, I'm not sure about the Upside Down team. I don't recognize the names. I know this team didn't play. This specific team name didn't play last season. And yeah, I don't know where these guys came from, but this is a phenomenal play they pulled off here. And so it starts. It's not immediately after the joust. There's some proper business after the joust here. Some tussling, some back and forth. See, there's the UI pops up. Now the team names will swap at some point here in a moment. But right now, it's actually Mexicans in the Mist in orange. They're in possession. There it goes. It swaps. So we'll let this play out until we get to what I wanted to point out here. So, all right. So it's about to start happening. As that clear was a little panicked. Even if it was on, it would have been intercepted. But here's where it starts to turn around. Is when the Upside Down team gets back in possession. So right now, you can see they're largely spaced out. You can see on the mini map they're mostly on the floor. One of them is either up high or he's about to get up high. See how this plays out. And so this is when you see a lot of new teams relying on their clear and boost because they're not sure what else to do. You see these guys hit the floor. One, there's a lot of space on the floor to pass around. But two, they're getting into a formation right now. You can see they're setting up. It's kind of a lazy triangle at the moment. But you see this pass sequence is absolutely amazing. I'll let this play out, and then we'll back it up. You got three on the floor in a triangle. You got one up high. They are just folding up this defense, and it's that pass. That pass is what folds up the defense, and that leaves that lane open for that pass to get through mid. He goes for that long shot. It's not good. It's off the nugget on the far side there. But then Space picks that up and beats the goalie on that beautiful three. That was a beautiful shot there. But so you see what happens here. So this is where the play starts. This is where the actual so everything up to this point is mess. Basically, this is all just juggling or control. But here, this next pass, that's the reset right there. Boom. They have now reset the play. All right. And now that they've reset the play, they're going to set up in this passing formation. They get the triangle on the floor. You can see Mike the Commie is up here on Ghost. So you see two players stacked here, but they're not actually stacked. And that's hard to express, like in the 3-minute meta videos. It's really hard to express that, you know, just because there's two players occupying this same spot from this bird's eye view, because they're high and low, they're not clumped. You wouldn't call this clumped or paired. They're really occupying, because we are working in a three-dimensional environment, unlike, you know, a sport like hockey where you can take that bird's eye view and use that to explain exactly what's going on the ice. We don't really have that benefit. And so right now they are spread actually very, very well. You see the triangle here, and then the two players stacked, one high, one low. You don't have to stack. I'm just pointing that out. And then here, they start passing around kind of just to maintain this control. And you can see the Mexicans in the missed defense here at mid are not really sure what to do. They got one player playing deep, and the other three are waiting. And you can see the patience of the upside down team kind of forces Mexicans in the mist to basically become impatient and start chasing. And that's when the defense folds. So it's that pass right here. The pass up high. I'm pretty sure this is the one. Yeah, because that's the one. We'll back this up for a moment. That pass high. So you see they're just cycling right now. They spread. He goes further out. I wish that pause button wasn't in the way. That pass high pulls both of these guys away from him. Or both of those guys that were covering him. Now you've got all three. Look at this defense. Look how folded up they are. That's what that pass sequence does. And look at number 24, who is that Space, who takes that long shot and then he ends up getting the three. Look how wide open he is. He has a direct line at that goal. He is completely uncovered. And so that pass back just kind of spread them out. It put them, this is a fold up right here. See how they're all basically in a line? When we say folding up the defense, that's exactly what we're talking about. They are all in a line. They are no longer, their coverage is no longer spread. They're clumped. They're effectively clumped. And that out pass, boom. Look at that. I don't blame him for taking the shot at all. I would give anybody credit for taking the shot here because he has that open lane right there all the way to the goal. He goes for it, misses that first one, bounces up, recovers it, sends it in. This is such a dangerous shot. I can't believe he made it. That was a beautiful goal. But I just really wanted to highlight that play, and I'll let it run through one more time from the initial joust there. Because this is a masterclass in controlling, resetting and controlling in your own zone to fold up the defense at mid and push through mid. This is how you do it. This is beautifully done. And I see a little Guipo asking about stat coverage. Yeah, sorry, Guipo, I'm not trying to pick on you guys. So stacking is definitely an option as far as like your defensive here. But of course, you guys were initially correct in kind of keeping the mid protected without overcommitting. It was the moment you guys overcommitted to that pass, this one that's about to show up, not this one here, it's the next one. The moment you guys overcommitted to this one, and that's basically a lack of communication, a miscommunication. You see the two of you guys, both of your players chase at. That's where the breakdown happened. That's exactly where it took place. So whether or not you do run with a more aggressive stack or you stick to what you were doing and kind of play, that sort of, what you call like zone at mid, really the breakdown was just overcommitting and folding up into a line in the defense there. And chocolate resetting, probably one of the most underlooked, undervalued aspects of the game, particularly to newer teams. I mean, you saw the power of it in that play. I'll let it go just one more time because I'm still talking about it. This is a yeah. We'll just go from the beginning once again. But yeah, that's I mean, you see the power of the reset here. And the communication is clear. That's exactly what we did on Nova. That was our answer to trying to break our habit of the clear and boost. Was literally dropping to the floor and getting into a passing formation. Basically, a triangle with a floating man who's either pushing up at mid or trying to cause some chaos. Can you see it's right about here when it happens, because there's a lot of flinging going on, which is not what you want to do. You know, you want to be in control. You don't want to just be flinging the disc around. But this pass sequence, but Guipo, you guys otherwise had a great game. You won the game. And this is literally the beginning of the game. That's in, this is the Monday. Yeah, it's your first game. It's your first cast. You know what I mean? Like, it's all like there's no, you guys are totally fine. Like, I'm not worried about you guys. Like, you did take the game. This was just so well executed. I had to. I really wanted to point it out. So yeah, so that's what this first part was all about. And honestly, so what I'm gonna say is, if there's plays, they need to be of a particular caliber. So all right, so there is a Discord, the Echo Discord. There should be a link actually on the. Let me check. Yeah, actually, just down below the Twitch stream here, there's a link to the Discord. If you find, if your team pulls off a play like that, and it really does need to be of a certain caliber, and I know that can sometimes feel disappointing if like it's not selected or whatever. But if you think something was a great example of something, or honestly, maybe if you have some questions about something, why something broke down or whatever, send the clips, clip it out from the stream or wherever it was. Preferably from, like the spec angle, the POV I'm not going to be able to get a lot of information from. I was never able to analyze when I was in the game. I can really, but from this bird's eye perspective, and I'll help you out, just for, and we'll do it on the stream and whatever else. Or, I'll, like I said, if you just think it's a great play and you think I could use it as an example for something. But like I said, if I'm going to use it like that, it needs to be of that particular caliber, and that was of that caliber. And even though they lost the game, yeah. So now we're going to transition into what to expect when you're expecting to be casted. And so what this is, this is the more experimental. That other one was kind of experiment, but it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I think that's the good way to kick it off. I don't know where that accent came from. Kick it off. But so yeah, this is more experimental. It's good to see about doing this format for explaining how to do things for newer players, newer to the league. Obviously, I made an alt account so you don't see all the caster stuff. Not that I'm hiding it from anybody, but just for the purposes of this. So, what to expect when you're expecting to be casted? So yeah, I am Matsuya Dimly, of course. And of course, a horse is a horse, of course. And I actually originally wrote this out as a script. I have a whole script written out. We're not going to be doing the whole script. I'm just going to be using that as a guide. But basically, there can sometimes be anxiety around the first time you get casted as Lil Guipo, and it wasn't even Lil Guipo's first time. But as he pointed out, it can be, it can be a little nerve-wracking. Yeah, Z. Yeah, I felt the same way when the few times I got casted as well. So the first and probably most obvious question you're gonna have is how do you know if you're gonna be casted? So the most reliable way is to check this page that I have up right here. This is the let me get that out of the way. This is the matches page. You just go to the matches, worldwide, America, East, West. If you're North America, Europe, Oceania, Asia. We're just going to go worldwide so you can see everything here. You see all the games that are already scheduled. You see here these names on the right. Now, most of you are probably already familiar with this, but if not, here's your introduction. If you look on this page, that's at vrmasterleague.com /Echo Arena. Is the address. Sorry, this monitor that you're seeing is actually way over there. Uh, so yeah, so you've got, this is how you're gonna know basically when a caster has committed, is deciding to cast your game. Probably, they're gonna put their name here. You're gonna see their name start popping up here. Now that doesn't necessarily mean you'll actually get casted. Sometimes there's some confusion, or somebody clicks something by mistake. It's not common, but it does happen on occasion. Now you want to be watching this literally all up until your game gets casted, and even because just by the nature of, you know, the show business, sometimes things change at the last minute. Sometimes we don't know to the last minute, and sometimes something broke and we meant to tell you, and the message just didn't get through. So always keep an eye here, all up until game time, because you never know when someone might pick your game to be casted. We have a lot of casters, and there's a lot of different methods by which people choose to cast a game. Also, this hype button here, if you want to be casted, use it. We do look at the hype number. We that's one of our factors taken into consideration. Now, once a caster has signed up here, you will they will probably send out a message that you'll get in the organization channel on the VRML, the Echo Arena VRML Discord. And that doesn't always happen. It should happen, and it should be with significant notice, like a few hours. But sometimes that'll be last minute, and like I said, sometimes there's just nothing we can do about that. So also keep an eye on the Discord, in particular the organization channel in the Discord, because also 10 minutes before the game starts, you'll start getting pings about inviting the casters. So then, if your game is selected to be casted, and you see somebody signed up here, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you and the other team are in the game and ready to go 10 minutes before game time. And we suggest that because we want to make sure that when the cast is setting up, the last thing we're worried about is where are the teams. So if the teams are where they need to be, ready to go, and just waiting on the start of the game, we can focus on getting the cast set up, getting the stream set up, and then once it's go time, everybody's ready to go. So that also means you want to make sure you have your server selected before that 10-minute mark. You don't want to. One of the things you want to avoid is inviting the caster to a game and then deciding you want to change the server. So make sure you have already agreed upon the server you're going to be playing on before you invite the casters. Try to get the casters invites 10 minutes before the game starts, and have both teams in the private in that 10 minutes before the game starts. And if you can use Atlas, if you want to find Atlas, it's echovr.gg. And if you can use it to host the game and to get the casters in, or generate a link, more preferably, to send to the casters in the PM, you're more than welcome to do that. We love that. Makes our jobs just a little bit easier. And then after that, you wait for the good to go ping in the organization channel, which one of the casters will ping both teams, which will ping every single player on both teams that they are good to go, and that's when you go. Now make sure you wait for that ping, because if you do not, there's a very good chance the beginning of your game will not be on the stream. We just won't be ready for it. So that's basically it. And once you start the game, play as usual. If there's any delays, keep the casters informed using that aforementioned organization channel. And that's really it. Just play as you will, and you can watch it back afterwards and let us know how much you liked or disliked our casting of your game. But that's it. That's all I really had to cover on that. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Matsuda Mui. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. So there you go, stream. We did it live. What'd you guys think? I didn't say to... Oh, I'm going to tag on a thing. All right, we're going to do a tag on. You ready for this? We're going to do a tag on. All right, one more thing. Please do not ping or private message or otherwise beg the casters to cast your game. There's a lot of teams. There are a lot of games. We'll get to you eventually, or at least we will try to. So, but please don't ask. It turns into an avalanche of requests that gets a bit overwhelming. Yeah, cool. All right, woo! We did it live. You guys were a part of that recording, and there's still 16 of you here. That's surprising. So that actually was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. How long have I been going here? Yeah, literally like 20 minutes. I feel like that's not long enough to justify having gone live. It can be Flare. You know, it is. Yeah, I'll just be honest. It is. Speed run of what? I don't. There's nothing. I don't speed run anything. I play. I mean, there's all sorts of games I play, but there's nothing I can speed run. I'm glad. I'm glad it helped you, Flare. I really am. And your game was the best part, Guipo. Yeah. You're welcome, Wonderment. But I mean, yeah, I didn't plan for anything else. I should have planned for more. Like I said, this is kind of an experiment. What I'm really hoping is in the future, I'll have like more clips, you know, more plays to go through. So then when I do have something small like this to tack on, it feels like just something tacked on at the end rather than you know, a full half of the stream that's so short, not interesting. As now everybody's dropping out. That's good. All right, so I thank you everybody for being a part of this. Have you seen the disc regrab clip? Probably, but I'm not sure what you're referring to. There are a lot of new casters. How do we know the new caster username to invite? Does it say it? So when they're on the all right, this is a good question for that portion. So the question is, there are a lot of new casters. How do we know the new caster's username to invite? Does it say it on the ping or something? Yes, one, it will say it on the ping. Two, usually typically the casters will tell you who specifically to invite, because some people can't take the invites. And then also, if you look on this page here, yeah, sorry. If you look on this page, this is their in-game name. We all use our in-game names here. So you can use this as a reference for who to invite if you're not sure how to spell a name or to check if they have any special characters, anything like that. And yes, all casters do have Atlas, as far as I'm aware. At least they should. I do. Powder does. Sputnik does. Strem does. Like all pretty much everyone so far has been using Atlas. Although we are now relying more on the join links, either generated from Atlas or IgniteBot, because and then we pop those into a private channel because we have had an increasing issue with people joining via our Atlas hosts. It hasn't been a big issue, but it's happened a little bit more frequently over time. So we're trying to avoid that from happening. Yeah, I don't really have anything else. If anybody has any other questions, but if not, I guess we'll end it. This is absurdly short. Thank you everyone for stopping in. This will cut into 2 nice little 10-minute videos. They're coming back. The joust times are coming back. I don't know when they got broke. Palador doesn't even know when they broke. But they broke at some point over the off season, and they will be back. I don't know when, but they are coming back. Because I had the exact same question after day 1. What's the rule for people spectating matches? If it's not being casted, that both teams have to agree, and you cannot apply pressure. If it is being casted, you can't have any spectators. And if both teams do not agree, like literally, they don't have the other team doesn't even need a reason. If they just don't want it, that's it, and it needs to be respected. Not preaching at you or nothing. Gonna grind to get into the Encyclopedia Joust time. Do it, dude. I'd love to see some larger assortment of names on there. You know, Chaco's got an absurd joust. He's probably dropped under 1.5. Have you, Chaco? You drop under 1.5? What up, Polo? Pretty sure you're popping it right at the end. Sorry. Yeah, I know it looks like I just started because I did just start, but 1.3, nice. 1.78. I mean, that's good, dude. Anything under 2 is really good. Do I think Joker will be taken for first this year? Hard to say yet, but hard to say it will. Is it unrealistic to shoot for silver? No. For silver, no. It's probably going to be a tough climb because the longer the game's out, the more people that have been in it for longer. It's like like the top 20 teams or so tend to be players who have been around for the 4 years or 3 years. 3 years the game's been out, 3.5 years now actually. And then you look at the initial quest wave back, like I don't remember, May of 2017. Yeah, it was May of 2019, 2020. May of 2020. The initial quest wave. Those guys have now been in the game for over half a year. How do you get to silver? Grind, man. You got to play. You got to practice. You have to get out of bronze. You have to practice. You have to practice. You have to know what you're doing. Be aware of the rules. You don't want to accidentally hit on some forfeits just because you were ignorant of how a rule worked. I'm not using the word ignorant in any sort of negative connotation, but just not being aware of the rules. Sometimes that can really come back and hurt you. So make sure you become, aware of the rules and aware of how everything operates, and then the smooth operation will make it easier for your team to play better, to play well, and but you got to practice. I mean, that's really the big part of it. Oh, how do you physically rank up? You have to get into, so the rankings are based on, like, you got your diamond, I'll pull it up. I'll actually pull up the rankings here, make it a little easier. Here you got your master tier. So, all right. Oh, that's right. We're still in the first week. Why did I even try? So generally, you're gonna see, like, diamond, what's it? Diamond, gold, silver, bronze, and those represent a particular percentage of the population of total teams. And so I actually have the number available. Let me pull it up. Okay, so diamond. So the top 15% of teams on the ladder are diamond. The top, and then the next 20% are gold. The next 25% are silver, and the bottom 40% are bronze. And so how you get out of bronze is you want to get out of that 40, through that 60th percentile, and move into that that 50th percentile range, and that'll put you in the range of silver. So once you break through that line, you then have to win a game in that position. So you have to gain the silver position, and then you win a game in that position, and the next time scores update, or next time the website updates, you'll be in the next tier. Yeah, it is MMR based. So once MMR show, once that TBD disappears, it's going to be rounded to the nearest 20th. But there is, on the back end, that does go to decimals. We're pretty sure it goes to decimals. I don't actually have access to the back end of the MMR. But I know it goes at least to single digits, but it probably also goes to decimals. And then ranking is based off. So your rank is based off of your MMR, but your tier is based off of your relative position to the other teams. And the system's probably going to be changing in the future. I know basically we're going to be leaning into that the tier system. But how that's going to actually play out, we have yet to see. We'll see. We'll see eventually. That's basically what I just everything. That's the best I can give for MMR. A higher MMR. It's kind of like any other MMR system. I can't give specifics. I don't even know specifics. As far as like the actual back end and the algorithm and stuff. But yeah, Echo is growing exponentially. That is correct. But so you'll have an MMR score. Right now it's TBD. It's hidden. And then once you play 3 games, it'll show up. It's going to be a 4-digit number, and I think I'm not sure what the actual middle is at the starting. It's like 1,800 or 1,700. I don't know where the actual starting range is off the top of my head. It might be 1,000. Pretty sure maybe. Oh yeah, I don't remember where the starting range is. But it's generally 4 digits, and that's basically kind of your points, how many points you have. and then you play another team in their MMR. So let's say you both have 1,000 MMR, so you're hypothetically evenly matched. The winning team will gain MMR, so like they'll get like 10 points in MMR, and the losing team will lose MMR, so they'll lose like 10 points in MMR. So this team will go up to 10-10, and this team will drop to like 990, and then the next time they play, you kind of get a better idea as to what the match actually looks like. But then on top of that, when they play again, if they're at 10-10 and they're at 990, if they lose again, they don't lose, it's not as big a drop. Instead, they'll lose 9 points this time instead of 10. And same, they'll gain 9 points instead of 10 this time. But vice versa, because this team would be considered the underdog, they'll get more points out of it if they win. So they're 11 points back this time, and they'll lose 11 this time. So it's kind of a relative, like a weighted matchmaking system. What's the next game I'm casting? I have no idea. I don't usually sign up to. I get so crazy busy during the day, and then the way people schedule their games, sometimes games don't get scheduled till day of. So I don't like to commit generally too early unless it's a particular master tier game, which like you'll see on Sunday. I've committed to 2 games already on Sunday. That's because like the Kang versus Redshift game, and Synapse versus. I can't remember off the top of my head. But aside from those rare exceptions, I tend to wait to see what the list looks like a few hours ahead of time, and then I'll start signing up. So I'm done. I'm done casting for the day. That's why I'm doing this. And also, the other thing about MMR, the points differential in the game matters. The total points. So if you win, 10-5 in the first round, and 10-5 in the second round, the overall points differential, you're looking at 20 points to 10. You combine your round points. That points differential, that 10 points there in between, your 20 minus their 10, that also factors in. So the bigger that number, the more it factors into your MMR gain or loss. But it's not that significant. Yeah, that sucks for Redshift. But you know what? Honestly, though, it gets those games out of the way for them, and then the rest of this cycle, they can focus on their other games. Their more fairer matchups. Because really, no, it's anybody. There's only so many teams that can really take those guys on. Currently, I mean, there will be more teams eventually, but right now, there's only a handful. But all right, yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it there. This was fun. Thanks for hanging out. I'll try to have more content for stream next time. I'm not gonna really do the streaming video games thing. It's not really my jam. When I play a video game, I like to relax, and streaming is not very relaxing. Okay, so for my first match, we got destroyed almost to mercy. Then we barely won our next 2. Does that affect it much? So you would look at the overall points. So well, I mean, it will have so whether you win or lose is the biggest factor. So if you won the next 2, you won the game. So that's the biggest game. That is the biggest factor. And then it looks at the difference. So let's say they won the first round 20-0. Let's say it was Mercy hypothetically. Let's say they won the first game 20-0, and then you won the next 2 games like 11-10. So you would look at those total points. So let's say they would have 40 and you would have 22. You wouldn't get as much of an MMR boost from the win, but it's not a significant drop there. So yeah, so it does affect it, but not a lot. The win is really what matters the most. Like I would say, it probably matters 90 to 95% of it. So, all right. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for all the questions, Flair. I do appreciate that. And I'm happy to answer them. But y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you around. Later, single.